Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I aim to give form to my nascent thoughts on the boundless human heart. I hope these thoughts can add a positive value to you and to myself. I implore you to give me grace to find the words to accurately express the concepts that bubble in my mind. I hope you enjoy it. I believe that the human heart is boundless in the sense that it can shift into a myriad of forms. Of course, when I say the human heart, I'm not necessarily talking about the physical heart that pumps blood throughout our bodies. Rather, I'm talking about the foundation of human emotions. We as humans are special because we exist across many spectrums simultaneously. Despite there being billions of us existing at the same time, each person is truly unique. At some point in time, I developed the idea that people have some measure of control over their development. This idea has grown alongside me for a long time. It breached the surface of my thoughts while I was reading a light novel called The Magus Era. Now, side note, while I don't intend to spoil the story for anyone, this may be considered a spoiler, so you've been warned. During the story, a minor but powerful antagonist is revealed to be born from the negativity in humanity's heart. This being was called the Heart Devil. Its powers waxed and wanes proportionally to the feelings of wrath, lust, and envy, amongst other negative emotions. As I read that arc in the story, my mind made connections between the Heart Devil and fiction to one I recognized in myself. Other than a call for accountability in the ways I allowed my emotional field to develop, it also inspired me to think of an anti-figure or a natural counterbalance to the Heart Devil. I generically named this counterbalance the Heart Angel. Just like its opposing figure, it fluctuates between growing and shrinking, depending on the feelings it is given. As love drives out hate, so does the Heart Angel drive away the influence of the Heart Devil. The Heart Angel thrives on all positive feelings. In a way, I consider these forces the yin and yang of the human heart. Earlier, I mentioned that people have a measure of control over their development. So how do we control the development of our feelings? I'm sure that there's more than one correct answer to this question. The answer that resonates with me is the following. We control our emotional development intentionally when we dictate what feelings we allow to grow/fester inside of us. And beyond ourselves, we allow into us feelings that get brought to us by people, places, and other outside influences that we let take root inside of us. In the first case of people being the decision makers of things that influence their emotional development, I like to use the parable of the sower and the reaper. In this parable, there is a farmer who grows wheat, the crop of their choice. Now, during the night, an ill-intentioned neighbor spreads seeds of tares among the seeds of wheat. The two grow together until one day, the farmer realizes their solution to the problem is to allow both to grow until it's time to harvest them. When the harvest time comes around, they separate the wheat and tares so that they can save the desirable wheat and burn the unwanted tares. Now, this is normally where the parable ends. For the sake of explaining my concept of emotional development, I took the liberty to alter it for my use. In the next harvest, the farmer sows wheat again, but they also employ loyal guard dogs to ensure that their future harvest isn't tainted by any ill-intentioned individual. On an individual level, we are all sowers. We pick and choose what we allow to prosper in our fertile hearts. The emotions that appeal to a person are typically the ones they choose to cultivate, or at least are the emotions they would like to one day cultivate. In this, people get to enjoy their slice of internal sovereignty. On a broader level, people live in emotional zones that border the emotional zones of others. The people they border can be considered their neighbors. Among neighbors, some are well-intentioned and some aren't. Either type of neighbor can sneak into your zone and plant something. That something could be wheat or it could be tares. Thankfully, you can employ watchdogs that can protect your garden from invasions. A well-trained watchdog could be the difference between a good harvest and a terrible one. Not everyone employs watchdogs, but thankfully, as long as you're mindful and introspective, you may be able to identify the differences between the wheat and tares come harvest time. In that event, you can choose to allow the wheat to further nourish your garden while doing away with the tares, or you could choose to let everything in as it is and hope for the best. When it comes to this emotional cultivation, people are on different levels. Some people are raised by competent emotional cultivators who arm them with the tools and knowledge they need to be successful. Some people have no idea how to even begin to tend to their emotional fields. And many people fall somewhere in between these two extremes. I think it's important to know that your origins doesn't necessarily dictate your future accomplishments as an emotional farmer or an emotional cultivator. Your oranges may hamper you or propel you initially, but where you go from there is ultimately up to you. I call the human heart boundless because, like life, it comes in waves or seasons. My hope for others and myself is that we choose to cultivate the seeds that bring us life abundantly. For me, those are the seeds of hope, love, and devotion to my brand of happiness among the other positive seeds I seek to nurture. I know that my interests may evolve with time, so I keep as open of a heart as I can to accept inspirations for future seasons. I put faith in the watchdogs that I've employed, whether they be friends I admire, characters that inspire, or friends that nurture. Beyond my field, I hope to offer seeds that are beneficial to others that I care for. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this nascent collection of my thoughts that relate to the boundless human heart. Bye-bye.